All right, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm gonna tell you my secret, all right? And here's my secret. Here's been the secret to my success. But first, let me give you some backdrop. Right around 2011, I had some awesome people, some really good people who invested in me, right? And invested in an idea that I had for a consulting business, a corporate consulting business, which was enough of investment for me to turn in my resignation, leave that job, and pursue this business full time. And if you're watching, I want to thank you so much. And hopefully you see the return on that investment and who I've become today. Now, here's what happened. When they made that investment in me, I would have to go into these big corporations and boardrooms with a suit on that I had just recently started to wear, because I didn't wear suits. And man, I felt like an imposter. And so what I started to do was I found a secret that all I had to do was for 20, 30, 45 minutes or an hour was act like a future version of myself. And that's what I started to do. So at 33, I imagined what 35 looked like, and I called him 3.5. How does he walk? How does he talk? How does he move in the room? I'm gonna act like that guy. And that's exactly what I did. And then I could go back to being 3.3 after the meeting. I've done that consistently for about 15 years now, all right? And so once I hit 35, what does 3.7 look like? What does 4.0 look like? What does 4.3 look like? What does 4.5 look like? And today I'm 4.7, and I'm asking myself, and I know this, what does 5.0 look like? How does he move? How does he walk in the room? How does he talk? How does he think? Because you can't hit a target that doesn't exist. If you don't know what your future self is, right? If you don't know how he or she talks and how he or she moves and what he or she looks like and what he or she does, then how do you hit that target? You can't hit a target that doesn't exist. And so here's my call to action for you today. I want you to imagine, first of all, you might have to go to a place, right? A place that inspires you. And I like all inspiring places because it brings out that creative, imaginative side of us. And imagine, what does your future version look like? What does he or she sound like? What does he or she talk like? What does he or she do? How does he or she move? What's the swag of the future version? And begin to act like that person. And I can guarantee you from experience that person is very sticky, magnetic, and not easily does he or she go away. And that's exactly what you see in me today. I'm looking at 5.0. I know exactly how the guy thinks. I know how he moves. I know what he does. And I'm acting like this guy. And I'm telling you, what I have in my mind is blowing my mind. And so I want you to pull from my secret of who I've become. And I want you to become your best self by imagining your future self, what he or she thinks, talks, and how he or she acts, and begin to act like that person. And it won't be long before you become that person. All right? All right? All right. God bless you. Peace.